Cathy Enfield faced developmental challenges from the moment she was born. And while some doctors and even some teachers gave up on her early in life, Cathy and her parents knew she could do more and be more. Richard and Darlene Enfield chose to keep Cathy at home rather than sending her into an institutional setting. This decision led Cathy to grow into a strong advocate and overcome her own challenges with speech.
One of my primary obstacles was and continues to be clarity of speech. This has always made speaking up and advocating very challenging for me. I have been fortunate for the past few years to have access to an iPad, which is providing me with an accommodation which has greatly assisted my communication.
Cathy has always had the desire to help others. She's done so her whole life, but especially to help people with disabilities.
Cathy is very compassionate. She is a very driven and purposeful individual. And I would say that the compassion is absolutely the number one factor. Anytime that she sees any injustice, anyone suffering, anything that's not right, she's all over it.
After many years, Cathy moved into a home in the community. It was her staff that introduced her to People First and encouraged her to become involved in Partners in Policymaking. Cathy graduated in 2004 from Partners and then went through the Missouri Legislative Education Project, which really started her on her disability rights advocacy journey.
I think her goals and the work that she does stems from the fact that she genuinely cares about people. And that's the thing that I've seen in her, from forever, that she really cares. It really matters to her. And she wants to do whatever she can to help people.
She is just doggedly pursuing any injustices, anything at all that is not right, not just for differently abled people, but I'd say Cathy would do just about anything for just about anyone.
Cathy has met and befriended many amazing people on her advocacy journey, including Congressman Emanuel Cleaver II. He invited her to speak at a Martin Luther King celebration.
As we talked, he quickly recognized that disability rights are civil rights. In January 2005, he persuaded the Southern Christian Leadership Council to give me a place on the program to speak about these issues at the Martin Luther King celebration at the historic St. James Church. It was my first public speech, and there were over 1,000 people there. I don't know which of us was the most scared.
He later wrote this in a letter to his colleagues in Congress, that it was Cathy who helped him understand the similarity between disability rights and civil rights.
The premise of civil rights is simple, that all men, women, and children are created equal. We include rather than exclude. We engage rather than withdraw. We become one rather than segregate. I was an active member of the civil rights movement and feel blessed to be a participant in this civil rights movement. Due to no small part to Ms. Cathy Enfield, a constituent of Missouri's 5th Congressional District, a place I am proud to represent.
Cathy continues to pursue her lifelong goal of helping individuals with disabilities and speaking out for those who cannot speak for themselves. Even though she has accomplished much, there is still more to do.
Critical issue that she's working on right now is trying to bring up the awareness of the fact that lots of folks that have disabilities don't have access to the types of communication and types of technology that we take for granted in the world today. And what we see is that if we move people into the community without access to that, they are just as isolated or more isolated than they ever were in an institution. So she's trying to raise the awareness that if people are going to live in the community, that in today's world, technology and communication are just as important as heat, light, water.
There are many inspiring qualities about Cathy.
Kindness, humility, determination, And I think she's got a real sense of justice and fairness. And if things aren't just, it bothers her. You know, she wants to do something about it. So that's a great thing. Like I said, she's got a wonderful sense of humor, and she makes every day bright with that, so brings lots of laughs.
Cathy has had a very hard life, you know, at the beginning of it, a very tough upbringing, and she always came through, she always excelled. And as she was able to find the strength to do this for herself, it seems it became very obvious to her that others need this help as well, and she's been fighting as long as I've known her for their rights, for everyone to have the ability to have a good life, to have what they want, to be happy.
Cathy, you are amazing, just the way you are.
Life may force you to make adjustments, but don't let it make you stop believing in yourself and what you want to do. I wear a pendant that embodies the words I tried to live by. It is from Gandhi, and it says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world."
And that's why Cathy Enfield is the 2017 Mental Health Champion.